Sairam children, myself Bhavani Kundekar, welcome once again. So let us move to our next class, that is in your subject history, lesson number 2. So before we move to the second chapter, I just wanted to ask you something so that you will be able to know which is our next topic, that is your lesson number 2, or you can identify the topic which we are going to learn in our next lesson. Okay, so let us start. Let me ask you something. That is, now you are at home, so you must be communicate with your parents. Generally, you must be discussing about how was your childhood. Even you must be discussing with your grandparents also. Okay, how was their lifestyle when they were child? How was the transaction used to take place? How was the transport system in their childhood? Okay, now basically you must be getting information from your parents as well as from your grandparents. Definitely, because throughout the day you will not watch your TVs and all, correct? So the now slowly you're communicating with your parents, so they are giving information about their childhood. That means they are sharing their information about ancient time of that period when they were childhood. Okay, that means for you that is a history, correct? So slowly when they are talking about their childhood, that means there was such a transport, we used to go walking to the school. Yes, now now you're using a bus or you're using your cycle, like that. So slowly they are sharing their experience about their childhood. So that is information they are telling about their childhood, children. So today our topic is sources of history. Yes, this is your second lesson, sources of history. Sources means what? Generally it's all about the information about the history. Sources means through which we are getting the information about the history is all about our topic is going to discuss. So children, before we'll move ahead, let me tell you something. Sources means information, as we have discussed right now. So how we get the information about the history? There are two forms of getting information about the history is archaeological findings or archaeological excavation, it is also called, and the second one is literary source. Okay, these are the two methods through which we come to know about our ancient history. Okay, because medieval history we have slowly started getting a written work, that is literary source, exactly. Okay, so what about the ancient history? This all have we got information about through the archaeological excavation or archaeological findings. Through the one who is very much interested to know about the history, that particular person is known as historians, exactly. That person is trying to find out the ancient history of India. So the archaeological excavation is done in that particular area where our ancestors used to stay, like Harappan civilization, yes, Mohenjo-daro. After the archaeological findings, we come to know about their lifestyles and all. Children, not only that, even today, the some of the artifacts means are things which we are using, it was used in the ancient period also. Okay, no doubt we have just modified it with some colors and some shapes, some designs we have given, but even today, because of the modern technologies, it has been used, that all artifacts we can see nearby areas also. Let us see what is that source, the information. See, these all the things, even it is still existing in the villages, because this all things have been used in the ploughing of the field in the ancient period. Not only ancient period, even today it is the old tradition method of ploughing the field. It is mostly seen in the villages, exactly, where the farming is taken place. No, like we have started with the technologies and all, yes, but still this is the old tradition method of doing the farming. It is even till exist in our country, yes, in villages especially. Okay, so a number of objects used by an ancestor still exist. All the things were used at that time through archaeological findings. As I told you, historians have taken efforts that all things we are using it, but with some different colors, with different shapes, with some different designs, but it is still existing. So this all information we are getting through our historians, that is known as sources of history. Let us see the definition. A number of objects used by our ancestor still exist. Just now I've shown you the picture. Through that, like even today, that is only just an example, because there are many other things which even today we are using it. But just that is an example. I've shown you that picture. Some inscriptions from the past have been recovered. Through archaeological excavations, we come to know about their lifestyle, how was their way of cooking, which all food grains were being used by them. Yes, the utensils used by them, what was the materials used to make utensils and all, like earthen pots and all. So this all things we are getting through the, yes, through the archaeological excavation. Sources like these helps us to understand our history. Through this all excavations and literary source, we can come to know that how was our ancient history. Let us move further. History can also be learned through customs and tradition, folk arts, folk literature, as well as historical documents. All these are known as sources of history. Not only the objects we are using or the artifacts which we are using even today, that is not only the sources, there are other things also like traditions. We can see the ornaments made at the ancient period through the archaeological findings we have got. Okay, so this all things, not only the ornaments, even the pots, as I told you, the utensils used at that time, that all things even today we are using, as I told you, but we have just modified the design and materials used in that, but still we are using it. Apart from that, when we talk about the literary work, about the tradition system, even today we celebrate the festival with a great joy, all the festivals celebrated in the ancient time. Okay, so this all tradition, worshipping Lord Ganesha, it is since our ancient, like since our ancestors are worshipping Lord Ganesha, even that tradition has been followed even today by your parents too. Yes, no doubt, like their grandparents must have brought worshipping Lord Ganesha at home. So let us continue the same tradition. Even your parents have continued that tradition by worshipping Lord Ganesha at home. So this all traditions even today it has been carried forward. Okay, so just to get a very detailed information about the sources of history, about the archaeological findings, they have again divided the sources of history into three parts, so that you can easily understand the information about the history. Now, which are the three parts? That is material sources, written sources, and oral sources. When we talk about the material sources, as I told you, what like all the things, artifacts, that is things which we are using even today. Through that, we come to know that our ancestors also have used that all things. We can use it even today. Not only the things, artifacts, and all, but even the like some of the monuments, stupas, artifacts, yes, that all things which we are getting, that is known as material sources. Okay children, so material sources even today we can see, and through the excavation finding that Harappan civilization, Mohenjo-daro, exactly this all civilization we come to know through archaeological findings, and this all comes under the material sources. Written sources, as I told you, literary work or literary sources. It is also known as written sources because after the ancient period, slowly they started developing the written work, which helped them to write the system what has been taken place over there in that time, in the medieval period. No doubt they have started using signs and symbols just to express their emotions and feelings. But it has taken thousands of years to start with one particular script, to write and to express their ideas and thoughts and poetries. That only we are going to learn in detail today. And oral source, as I gave you the example in the beginning, that information oral, verbally, they have been getting from their parents, grandparents, or great grandparents. That has been even today verbally, orally had, yeah, we are coming to know through the oral source, that is verbally been informed by our great grandparents. Okay, so that has been carried forward even today about how was the lifestyle, oral sources of the, suppose, king Shivaji Maharaj, as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in Maharashtra is he's a great ruler of that, like at that time he was a great ruler as well as great warrior at that time. So he's been well appreciated in Maharashtra. If you go to many places of Maharashtra, many of the different incidents of related to Shivaji Maharaj we come to know. Orally they inform. No doubt we are not getting it literally, literary sources or written sources, but verbally they are ready to explain us how was his behavior and how great warrior he was. Okay, so these are oral sources. So let us learn in detail about all this, including all these sources in detail. Let us move with the next, that is material sources. As I told you, man uses a variety of things in his day-to-day life. They are known as artifacts. The things which we are using, the example, the earthen pots. That is just an example, plowing the field. Yes, that all things which we are even today we are using, that was used in the ancient period. Artifacts used by humans in the past provides us valuable information about life in the ancient time. When we talk about the ancient time, definitely we were not present at that time, children, but their findings we have got through archaeological excavation. That is giving a clear idea about how was the lifestyle of that ancient period people. What all things they were used for, what all things, what all purpose. So this all things we are coming to know through the archaeological findings, and we are getting in front of us all the things, or like for example we can say about the coins, the stupas, the forts. Yes, this all things when we talk about, we are getting, we can see in front of us, but as a material source. So they are giving a valuable information. Like, yeah, it is really existing, it was really existed in the ancient time. Artifacts like earthen pots, by studying the shape, color and design on ancient potsherds, the ornaments and the diet of the people from the remains of food grains, seeds and bones of animals found in excavations. As I told you, archaeological excavation or archaeological findings both are same. Through this excavation, we come to know about, we have getting all the information about the designs of pots, color used in that particular ancient period. Different places use different food grains, and their diets and their ornaments also was one great influence in our material sources. Okay, when we talk about this all material sources, children, even the diet they have explained. Now we are in like Maharashtra, so when we talk about all the different states have different diet of staple food. Okay, so like that, even in the ancient period, the diets also was differ in the ancient period. Through archaeological findings, we can come to know about the food grains used at that time. And one more thing about the material source, even they used to, roast the food grain so that they can preserve it for a longer time. This all information we are getting through the archaeological findings. We find the remains of houses and buildings built in different historical periods, and ancient coins and seals. All such artifacts, articles, monuments or their ruins are called the material source of history. Children, as I told you about the buildings, remains of the buildings, Harappan civilization, Mohenjo-daro, this all things are giving us a great information about the ancient civilization of Harappan and Mohenjo-daro. How they started getting settled down near the river basin, and how they started with the agriculture. Through this all remains and about their construction of the houses at that time in the ancient period has a great influence in our recent time also, in our modern time also. Okay, let us move with some of the other information about the material source. Structures such as forts, rock cut caves, stupa, etc. are known as material sources of history. Children, these all things we don't use, but we can see through our archaeological findings, forts and rock cut caves, stupas and all. As I told you, artifacts, things which we are using, that is only material sources. But including this also, this all things also comes under the material source. About the forts, as I told you, Shivaji Maharaj, and the stupas, the statues and all, what they the stone carving, how they used to carve, then how they used to make the sculptures and all this. All things gives us the information about the material source. Okay, I just wanted to tell you one more example of the material source about the structures. Okay, children, when you go to the south side, you can find the Gopuram, the entrance of the temple. Usually you can see its Gopuram. If you see, then definitely each and every like in each and every Gopuram, they have tried to discuss with the carving of the stone. Yes, they have tried to discuss about the political administration of that particular ruler of that particular area. We can also study in detail in the next all the coming topic. You will be coming to know about the Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas and all, how these rulers have ruled our country at that in ancient period. They have carved this all things in the Gopuram. They used even carved the way how they used to go for the war in the ancient period, children. That is what this all things are getting a valuable information about the ancient history. Okay, let us see some of the pictures related to material sources. Coins. As I told you, some artifacts even today we use. Only the shapes, color, designs we have changed. So one of the example is coins. We even today we do for our transaction, we use the coins. Here are some other more pictures, artifacts which we even today we use. Ornaments. Yes, ornaments even today we use it. Okay. Potsherds. Through this we come to know about the ancient history, how different potsherds were made in different colors and different shapes of different ancient people. Yes, through that we come to know which ancient people and which area and which like at that which year it was been used. So different colors and shapes and designs have been there in that potsherds and okay. Ornaments. Earthen pots. Earthen pots were not only used to for the like cooling the water and all, but even some of the areas in the ancient period they used to use this all for cooking purpose. Now we use it only for the, yes, to keep a water to be cool. Yes, some definitely your grandparents would love to drink the water from the earthen pots. They will not like it from the refrigerator. Yes, which you usually like. You generation means you coming generation love to drink the cold water from the refrigerator. But when you talk about your grandparents, they will not like the chilled water, what we call, from the refrigerator. They will definitely like from the earthen pots. So children, they were not only preserving, like they were not only storing the water in this, but even they were cooking the food in this earthen pots. Okay. So when we are talking, now we are finished with our material source. So let us move to our next topic, that is our return source. When we talk about the return source, as I told you, people have taken thousands of years. So till that time, what was the way they used to communicate? How they used to write about the information and all? Okay, so let us guess. Okay, today I will come tomorrow. Okay. Do you remember in the WhatsApp now what I did? We are doing an action. Yes, we will come tomorrow with the action and all. But later on, they slowly, these actions and all, they've started drawing in the form of signs and symbols. Exactly. This all they started in the form of a signs and symbols. This has taken place in the form of a return source. They, after writing the signs and symbols, slowly it has taken thousands of years to get one particular script. But they have started that the things were continued. All the things were expressed in the form of a signs and symbols. So here was the beginning of the return source. In the beginning, as I told you in the beginning, humans use signs and symbols to record their thoughts and ideas. However, it took thousands of years for a script to develop from these. Children, just a small example, when you use your modern technology, your mobile phone, no doubt you people are very much expert in that. But when we talk about the signs and symbol, you're sad, you will show your dull face. When you're happy, you will show your smiley face. Exactly. So these all signs and symbols were used by our ancestors, by our ancient period people. Exactly. So this was a beginning of the return source. Okay, let us see in detail what is exactly in the return source we are going to learn. When we talk about return source, it includes inscriptions carved on temple walls, walls of rock cut caves and rocks, inscriptions on copper plates, pots, bricks, and written sheets made from palm leaves and birch bark, etc. It's at all trees or at the copper plates and all coins and all, which was they used to mint and all that. In that they started writing a, yes, they started carving and they started inscription in that copper plates, silver plates and all that. They started writing about their political system, about their administration, how the ruler of that particular ancient period went for the war. Yes, these all things they started writing in the form of a raw in the temple wall. As I gave you the example in the starting, if you go in the south specially, you will be able to see one of the gopuram. Yes, in all that, if you go, but simply you cannot take a look up. Yes, we can make out. You, if you'll watch very closely, then only you will be able to understand the political system, administration system, everything is explained in that stone carving, in that gopuram itself, how the Raja used to admin the people of that time in the ancient period. Okay, this all things were started giving the inspiration for the written source. Let us see the next one. Over a period of time, many forms of literature developed. They included books on religious and social subjects, plays, poetry, travelogues, and scientific works. These sources are known as written source of history. When we talk about the, especially now we are in like at home, basically our country has been known for the festival of land, yes, land of festivals. So when we talk about the festivals, how we come to know about these all festivals? Why when we go to Bengal, why they worship more of the goddess? Yes, goddess the Durga. Yes, when we go to Himalayas and all, when we go that side, maximum people worship some other, this one. When we go to south, some other lord, some other goddess. When we go to west, east, different gods have been worshipped. How we come to know about through this all things? Through the written work and the pictures what they have started drawing and giving a detailed information about that particular goddess and god. We have got a clear idea, written work. After that only we believe, yes, this was the festival celebrated in that particular ancient period. Okay, this all things, how the Lord Rama has come from the exile and which day and why that particular day has been celebrated as Diwali. This all things they started verbally, then slowly this has started giving a in the form of a written work. This was continued from the ancient period. Okay, but oral things have started giving a platform of the written source. Let us see some of the pictures of the written source. Copper plate. See children, they have started writing, they have even started giving a drawing how they used to go for the war and how the pots and all, everything they started giving the signs of symbol and as well as the written form. Some more thing we will see about the written source. Stone inscriptions. Inscription on a rock. Brujapatra means writing sheets made from the bark of the birch tree. Children, when we talk about this, usually as I told you, they started with the coins and all on the stones and the rocks, and then they started writing the copper plate and all. But everywhere it is possible to carry the stones and rocks and all. So slowly they have started developing their writing, not only the writing skill, even that information how to preserve and how it can be easily carry forward from one place to another. They started using the leaves and the bark of the trees. So these all things have helped them to translate that into different language. Even the person who can want to know about that particular place history or about that particular place, so he can take that and he can translate it, and again he can carry to that particular the things, that written work, into other country also. So slowly from the copper plate, stone inscription and rock inscription, they have started writing in the palm leaves and the birch trees. Exactly. Let us move further. Burja is a Sanskrit name of the birch tree. Birch trees are found in Kashmir. This all things, this tree only can be found in Kashmir. And when we talk about this, slowly, just let me tell you one more thing about the in the Ramayana and Mahabharata. You have seen this Ramayana right now in your house, right? Yes, it was there in the last month. It was, yes, especially. So at that time, you have seen some of the Rishi Munis, they used to write in one of the leaves, palm trees, yes. And the books were not like that, or written work was not like that, how the books we are using it right now. It was totally different. The leaves were placed one above the other, exactly, one below the other, and the in a such a way that it can be opened easily and can be very hardly, it is very tough to preserve it, but they have kept it in the museum as our, yes, cultural heritage. Okay, so here we are coming to the end of our first part of our topic. So let us, in our next class, we will remaining part, that is oral source, and remaining part we will study, children. Okay, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.